Hello everyone and welcome back to Chicane. We're your hosts, McKenna
and Bryn.
And we put the chic in motorsport.
Our goal is to bring you the latest Paddock Pulp, provide in-depth and unique interviews with fans and your favorite F1 content creators.
And encourage you in learning about the sport in a fun and innovative way.
We hope you stick around and enjoy this week's episode, and if you haven't already, make sure to check out our introduction episode to get to know more about your host.
With that, let's get revving.
Woo! Okay, just got P1s and DNFs of the week. If you're new here, P1s are our high and DNFs are our low. So, McKenna, what are your P1s and DNFs?
My P1 for the week is I went on a trip to North Carolina
to
visit some family there. It was a lot of fun. And we made a quilt.
Oh.
So that was my first time quilting, and that was a lot of fun. My DNF is my baby got sick.
Oh.
And she has croup. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why her cough is like that.
Yeah.
But we're on the tail end of it. But my heart was just really sad for her.
Yeah. Oh, I hate seeing babies sick. It's so sad. My P1 is probably, I played pickleball yesterday. Or no, actually, my P1 hasn't happened yet. P1, we've got all my girlfriends coming over tomorrow for a tote bag painting party. So I'm really excited for that. And then my DNF was I failed at pickleball on Monday. It was so bad. I'm going to practice and keep practicing, but I lost every game that I played, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So we're doing this new segment called Paddock Pulp, where both of us bring news about what's happening in the paddock or throughout the Formula One season. So if you don't know, Christian Horner was allegedly in misconduct with a Red Bull employee. He allegedly had sent some inappropriate images to this female employee, and it got brought to the public, the news and everything. As of last week, the update in the situation was that it was going to be closed, kind of like quote-unquote unofficially paid off. But then the Red Bull employee herself went onto Twitter and was like, here is all of the proof of the images on all of these files. I'm going to send this out to Red Bull investigators. Y'all can deal with it. So then it blew up again, and we have no updates right now.
Yeah.
So, pretty interesting. What is your take on that?
I don't know. It's kind of like innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I don't know. I thought it had all been closed. I didn't know that it got reopened.
Yeah. He was at the race last weekend, and I believe he will be at the race this weekend, but the case hasn't been closed yet, so.
I'll be interested to see where it ends up.
Yeah. And following that, there has been Max to Mercedes rumors because Jos Verstappen, Max's father, was not happy with these with this news apparently, and he is I don't know what the word is, but unofficially his agent apparently. And so he was like, Max is not going to work at this place if this is what the management is like. So, amidst the rumors this week, Max Verstappen is rumored to take Mercedes' seat for the 2025 season. Quote, Racing News 356.com shares that Max Verstappen has an escape clause in his highly lucrative contract with Red Bull that is linked to Helmut Marko. Racing News 365 has learned, despite a contract through to the end of the 2028 season, which is reportedly worth 50 million pounds per year. Essentially, Sports.com shares following the Bahrain Grand Prix, according to the F1Insider.com, former Austrian racing driver Gerhard Berger says, as things stand now, Horner is saying Helmut Marko and Adrian Newey are leaving and Max is going to Mercedes. Nothing further of this has been announced or confirmed. It's just a rumor, but to see an Austrian racing driver who has connections to Red Bull say all of that publicly is very interesting.
It feels wrong that you got Max at another team.
But then it feels wrong to think about Lewis at Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, we have no control over the seats, and I think that's crazy. But I can't see him at any other seat.
No.
He's never been in any other seat.
I don't know what it was. Have you seen, there was like a picture that someone edited, and it was like Lewis at Ferrari and Carlos at Mercedes, I think, and then Max at Mercedes? No, I don't remember. But it was like the three of them all like switched seats.
Oh, wow. I've seen rumors about Max and Alonso moving to Mercedes and like completely moving George out.
Oh,
I was
interesting.
Like, that's interesting, yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think I could see him at Mercedes, but then also like for a racing aspect, I think it would be very interesting to see because we know how near perfect the Red Bull is. So seeing him in a car that he's not comfortable with will really show his like racing ability, right. And see how like if it's really just him or the car.
I've also heard rumors about Alex to Red Bull again.
Yeah. Which I don't know if I want him there. I think I would like to see him in the Mercedes and then bring Mick into the Williams.
Yeah, give him another shot.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
And then the last part of Paddock Pulp is Alpine. We know that Alpine has been readjusting their company and everything of their team and just trying to become better or whatever. So they announced on their Instagram and socials, the BW team Alpine F1 team announces organizational changes across its technical teams. Today introduces a series of organizational changes through its technical teams where it will take a 3-pillared approach. The team has created 3 specialized technical roles: technical director in performance and aerodynamics, and then engineering. The team announces Joe Burnell as technical director of engineering, David Weeder as technical director of aerodynamics, and Carrion Pilbeam as technical director of performance. The 3 will work closely and report to team principal Bruno Fahmann with immediate effect. On the power unit side, the technical team is led by technical director Eric Megnan, who continues to work on the 2026 PU project. Technical director Matt Harmon, who is head of aerodynamics, has chosen to leave the team and seek new challenges. They wish the team the best for their efforts and their future endeavors. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
A lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, like, I keep seeing Formula 1 memes where it's like, who knows what's going to be silly season? Because silly season has already been happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Silly season is either going to be crazy or nothing compared to this.
I think this is the most since I've been in the sport. So, like, 2 years. Like,
mm-hmm.
I think this is the most I've seen happen all at once. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
which is going to make for a very interesting 2025 and then 2026.
When the regulations...
So many changes are happening.
Yeah, when the regulations come in, that will be so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, seeing where everybody moves, because everybody's contract, most of the drivers' contracts end in 2025.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Okay.
I think we're at pre-race, or how did our pre-race predictions go from last week? So this is our post-race analysis. We have the first episode out where we did pre-race predictions and hot takes for Bahrain. So now we're covering all of our hot takes and pre-race predictions for that.
So, unsurprisingly, Max won.
Mm-hmm.
I said we'd have a Mercedes win.
Yeah.
I didn't really believe it when I said it, but I said it. So I lost out on that one. But we did have a Red Bull podium, which I said would happen.
And go ahead.
And Ferrari. We got Ferrari podium.
And you specifically said signs. Like, I didn't.
Did? I specified that?
Yeah, look, signs.
Let's go.
Yeah, you specifically said signs, and I just said Ferrari. And I was like, dang, she actually got that.
That makes me feel good. I thought I had just said Ferrari.
No.
And then I also said we'd have Williams in the points.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. Logan had a technical issue.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex just... Did he have an issue, or did he just...
I think he was just like...
Fall back a little bit.
Yeah, fall back a little bit.
Yeah.
My prediction, which isn't really that out there, was Max would win. So I got that one right. I said one McLaren in the points. We got both, which is really shocking. We'll get into that later. And then a Ferrari on podium, which was correct. I didn't specify on which. And then I said 2 DNFs, which we didn't have any. So
yeah, which is shocking. I think they said it was the first time in like years.
Yeah, I mean, for the first race of the season, you would think that at least one.
Yeah.
We had 3 DNFs last year. I don't know.
We'll see what this first street circuit does to the cars.
True.
And how the cars react to that.
True. With the race, though, like, I was so shocked, especially as a McLaren fan. The past 4 races that we've had at Bahrain, the past 4 years that we've had at Bahrain have been terrible. Like, we had Oscar DNF'd, Lando lapped, and then, like, the year before, Daniel and Lando did not do very good there.
Right.
So I had barely predicted. I was like, oh, we're hardly going to have a McLaren in the points because it's just not a track that suits the car. But they got, like, P7, I think.
They did pretty good.
Yeah, they got in the points. Both of them were in the points. But
if you watch, there was like a clear split between the field of, it was like Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, and then like a split between the rest of the field.
Yeah. Like everybody else was kind of just like jumbled in together, but like all 4 of those teams had all their drivers like smashed up there.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was so interesting. What do you think?
Top teams for a reason, I guess.
What do you think was the most surprising part of the race, like, for you?
I'm going to be completely honest. I fell asleep during the race and did not finish it. I was road tripping that entire day. And so I'd been up since like 5 a.m., was in the car for like 7 hours. I waited till Sunday to watch it so I could watch it with my husband.
Yeah.
And then I just ended up falling asleep. And so I think I only watched the first 20 or so laps and then woke up at the end. And I was like, oh, well.
You didn't really miss much.
Didn't miss anything,
No.
really.
Yeah, I have ESPN, so I have to watch it live. So I got up on Saturday, and it was like 9:30 in the morning, which isn't that bad. And I just popped it open on my bed, and I watched it, and I was like, yeah, I could go back to bed right now. Like, nothing's happening. It's a pretty underwhelming race to start off the season.
Yeah.
Though I think the most interesting part was, I think it was Bottas had, like, one of the longest pit stops in F1 history. It was like 50 seconds. And I was like, that's so weird to think about because you think about 50 seconds in real life is like not that much. Like, that's a little.
Yeah.
But like with Ferrari having their fastest pit stop at the race was like 2.2 seconds. And it's just mind blowing how that works.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Charles kept walking up. He like couldn't. He was like having a hard time figuring out how to drive the car, it seemed like.
Forgot how to drive.
He was like, I don't know if it was his fault or if it was some kind of like the car was just acting weird and he couldn't find the balance in it.
Yeah. He locked up like at least 6 times in the corners.
Yeah.
In the first 15 laps. And I was like, wow.
Like, hon, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think also a surprise that came from that race, which isn't really a surprise if you look at the stats and everything, but like Carlos kind of just taking over and like being his own strategist and everything and then getting himself a podium. I was like, okay, show them what they've lost. Like,
we love to see it.
We love to see it. Okay, we've got best pit stop, fastest lap, and driver of the day, if you want to cover that part.
All right, so we already mentioned we didn't. We mentioned Valtteri's pit stop.
Well, I did mention Ferrari's.
Okay, well, Ferrari had the fastest pit stop with 2.23 seconds.
Which is really good.
Which is really fast. Not compared to Mercedes, or not Mercedes, McLaren.
We had
I knew what I was saying, but then
1.80 seconds, I think it was, last year.
So, we'll see if anyone can get close to that. Record will stand for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Fastest lap was set by Max Verstappen with 1 minute 32 seconds, 0.308.
That's crazy.
Which, do you know what the fastest lap there
at Bahrain? No, I can look it up while you tell me the other fact.
And then the driver of the day was Carlos Sainz. Kind of mentioned how he just did his own thing. got on the podium. He doesn't care anymore for Ferrari.
No,
He's just proving himself as a driver so that he can get another seat right now, which will be really interesting to watch throughout this season, I think.
Yeah, he was like, if y'all are kicking me out, I'm going to make you regret it.
I don't think he's going to be a team player.
Box.
Copy, box. Alright, so anyways, now we're getting into our pit stop fun fact. I thought this one was pretty interesting. If Lewis Hamilton was his own constructor, just him, his own team, doing his own thing, he would rank 6th in all-time constructor wins with 103 wins.
Oh, that's crazy.
The only teams that are ahead of him would be Red Bull and Williams, tied at 114 race wins, McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari following that.
Wow.
So that's a little bit crazy. Like one person is up there with years and years of driving teams having multiple champions.
Yeah. I think that's crazy too. Like, people, it kind of gives you a perspective of the people that are like, Lewis Hamilton is not the best driver ever. Like, he's by stats the best driver ever.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you can't argue that. You literally can't argue it when you got down to the statistics of it.
Having a good car is only half of the equation.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, Max just has the best car. And yes, but he's also a phenomenal driver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had a bad driver in the Red Bull car, the Red Bull wouldn't be doing as good as it's doing.
Yeah. I mean, no hate to the Checo fans. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Yeah, that was a really fun fact. Okay, so now we're going to get into Jeddah. We're going to give you some background on, like, the track and everything, and then we'll get into our pre-race predictions and everything. So we'll, like, just hop this. So the official name for Jeddah is Jeddah Corniche Circuit. The location is Saudi Arabia. Second race of the season, first night race of the season, and street circuit on the calendar. First night race and street circuit on the calendar. So interesting location. I think it looks really pretty and everything. So
yeah. All right. So just like last week, the race weekend is going to start on Thursday, and the race will be Saturday. So make sure you put that on your calendars so you don't miss it, and so you don't accidentally go on Instagram and spoil anything for yourself. Because I've done that multiple times.
Yeah.
When I don't think about the times of the race, and I'm just like, oh, dang, now I know who wins.
Yeah, I know who, like, didn't win or DNF'd.
So,
we're posting it tomorrow.
Okay, so
For
if you're watching
them
this,
today.
practice is today.
Yes. And then quali should be tomorrow.
Yeah. So make sure to check your time zones, check when the race is. If you're a Central Standard Time like us, the race will be at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Yep. I, like, triple checked it. I was like, because I always forget that the F1 app tells you, because you have to fill in, like, your time zone and everything. So then I'm like, well, that's 11 a.m. for Saudi Arabia. No, because it's a night race. Like, logic friendly. But, okay, so the length of this track is 6.174 kilometers long, which is 3.836 miles long, and we will have around 50 laps.
And on this track, we have 3 DRS zones and 27 turns, which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of turns.
And the lap record is 1 minute 30.734 seconds, set by the one and only Lewis Hamilton.
Yep. A little history about this track. As we said earlier, it is a street circuit, but it also runs around the Corniche, which is a 30-kilometer coastal resort area in the ancient Saudi Arabia city of Jeddah. The first race held here was in 2021, so it's a baby track, joining its Middle Eastern counterparts, Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, which also both Abu Dhabi is a night race. This race is considered the second fastest on the calendar to Monza and is dubbed the Temple of Speed. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, information for you on the track and everything.
Last year, our podium at this track was Checo, P1, Max, P2, and Fernando Alonso, P3. So you can take that into consideration when making your pre-race predictions. Mm-hmm. If you have any of them on your fantasy team, you can consider that and give them your whatever double point boost is. Mm-hmm. I don't follow mine that well, so I'm just kind of saying that as a reminder for myself.
Let me listen to it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I should do that. Also, this is just like a little plug-in real quick. F1 Play is an app that I have personally downloaded, and you can make pre-race predictions before, I think, quali. And there's like 10, 12 questions, and if you get all of them right, then they will like email you and give you like paddock passes to one of the races.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and like I've gotten 10 out of 12 questions correct. So like they have like different tier systems for your predictions. Okay. So it's pretty interesting. I recommend it. I forgot to do it last week, but I'm gonna do it this week. But
I'll have to get that. Download it along with me.
Yeah, so that's F1 Play on the App Store.
Yeah.
All right. Now we'll get into our pre-race predictions.
I really should have thought about this before we filmed the episode. I'm so bad at prepping for this. So you take yours and I'll think about it.
Okay. So this is so unfair because I did do a little bit of research. So my pre-race predictions are both Mercedes on it, like in the points. 1 Williams in the points. Both McLarens and 1 Aston, because we haven't seen great results from the Aston, but they did do really good last year. So I'm going to say both Red Bulls on podium and a Mercedes on podium.
Okay.
That's my pre-race predictions.
All right. I'm going to go with a classic Red Bull win.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and say Max. Even though Checo was our winner last year.
Yeah.
Max was miles ahead of the rest of the field. On the first race of the season. He was just gone. He said goodbye. Didn't worry about anyone else.
Oh my gosh. When he made his pit stop and was just cruising out of the pit lane and he was still 30 seconds ahead of everybody, I was like, ouch, this hurts. Like, this actually hurts.
Like, what type of, like, food do they give him?
What do they feed him? Oh.
We all just need a little bit of childhood trauma and we can be that good.
Oh, wow.
Alright, and then I'll just have some random ones that are popping into my head right now. I'll say a Williams gets into Q3.
Okay.
And a Haas DNF.
Ooh. I don't remember. I think we had 1 DNF here last year. 2? I think it was 2. Mm-hmm. So that's plausible.
Yeah. With
the Haas too. Like they were having problems last race, so
they were struggling a little bit.
A little bit. Oh, I didn't even look at my podium predictions. My app. I said Lewis, Lando, and a Ferrari. Like that could be my hot take. That Lewis wins, Lando gets on podium, and Ferrari on podium. I would like it to be Carlos. I love Carlando podiums. They're the best.
Oh, 1-2?
Oh,
would be
perfect. With glorious. Lando winning. Like, the day that Lando wins, I need Carlos on the podium. That would be so precious.
Cute.
Share that with your best friend.
Yeah. Alright, my hot take is going to be Checo doesn't podium.
Okay.
And I'm going to go opposite of you.
Okay.
And say Oscar outdrives Lando.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In my original podium prediction, not podium, hot take for the race, I said Lando in top 5 and Max doesn't win. That was my hot take. But Oscar is a wonderful driver. Yeah. I could see that.
And with this track being newer, Lando and him are kind of on the same playing field because they have kind of the same experience around the track.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for him to get it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your DNF predictions? I had 2 last year.
Like I said, the Haas.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alpine.
Really? I'm not surprised about that. Sorry, Alpine fans. I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say Alpine, Steak, and Haas. Those are kind of our low ballers right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that. Yeah, 3. Because it's a street circuit, and everybody's kind of changed up their car a little bit, and Bahrain is the practice track anyway. So they're all pretty comfortable with that one.
Yeah, they got extra time, too, because they were testing on that track.
Yeah.
Like, a week before they raced.
Yeah. So, like, when we think about that now, I guess that's not too surprising that they didn't have any DNFs. Last time there was, like, a power unit for Charles, and then I think Oscar got clipped in the first corner of last year. Oh, the Lance thing that happened in the first tournament race.
Hulkenberg?
I think he hit Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
That was, I thought, like, Emery was watching it with me. Emery's my little sister, and apparently she hasn't watched any of the races before, which I'm like, I need to be a better F1 sister. Like, what am I doing here? And she came and sat with me, and she was watching this, and she was like, this is so stressful. How do you watch this? Because it's fun.
Yeah.
And she's like, is he okay? I was like, yeah, he's fine. He just clipped, like, the front wing. Like, he just has to go in and they have to change it. Like,
I was getting so nervous when Carlos was passing Charles. I was like, they're going to make contact.
Oh my gosh.
I know that they can get, like, literally centimeters away from each other and not touch each other, but my heart, like,
I get
goes crazy every single time. I'm like, they're going to hit each other.
What happened? Was it Russell or Lewis that, like, Carlos was passing, or somebody was passing him, and he went out on the barriers. Like, he was doing good, and he would have passed them and, like, gained a position. And then he went out on the barriers, like, bumped. And then
asleep for that part.
That's so real. I was, like, trying to find anything that I could get, like, to be interested about this race. I don't know. I think it was Russell, but they were, like, fighting for positions because he got P4, I think.
Charles was P4.
He got P4 after all of those, like...
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of funny.
Max, Checo, Carlos, Charles.
You're right. He was P5.
Then was it Russell's P5?
Mm-hmm. Norris 6, Hamilton 7.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It must have been Hamilton then. Or no. It was, because I remember seeing a Ferrari. So it was Charles and Russell, and they were coming in on, I think, turn 15. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was turn 15, and Russell could have had the opportunity to pass him, but he was on the outside, and whenever it happened, I guess, like, whatever, I don't know, he went off into the barriers, not the barriers, but, like, the... Track limits. Yeah. And then, like, he, like, slowed down and then, like, did, like, a little bumpy thing. And then he got back on track and they were like, yep, he's not getting another position. And then I was like, wait, but that slowed him down. Maybe Norris can get a P5. But it was close. And I got points. Oh, how's your F1 fantasy team going?
Hold on. I had checked a second ago how many points I had. We have a little league, and I'm in second place right now.
Is Lexi in the league?
And Lexi's in first place.
Yeah. Of course she is.
She's got like 200-something points. I had like 156.
She must have Red Bull as constructors and Max.
My fantasy team is Red Bull constructor and then Williams constructor. I have Carlos, Oscar, and Alonso, and then I have both of our Williams boys because at that point I was running out of money. Not that I don't love them and don't want them on my team, but I might have chosen differently if I had a little bit more money.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good. I got, I think I got 141 points from last weekend. I've got Norris, Verstappen, Sargent, Ricciardo, and Albon, so I've got both Williams. And then I've got Aston Martin and V-Carb, because those are the only two that I could afford after getting Max and Lando.
Yeah, it's hard to make your team Also, do you want to share your team name?
Oh yeah, mine is Lando. We could be world champion. I said. She was gonna do that, and so then she was like, I already named mine, so you can do that one.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have Lando or Charles in my team, so it didn't feel right.
Yeah, but I had Lando.
I have Carlos, and so my team name is Smooth Operation.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. We gotta look. Who else is like? So it's Lexi, your husband, and us two.
Yes.
Okay. So the people that could possibly go to COTA.
But last year, yeah, we won it. We're trying to go to a race this year. I thought it would be next year.
Yeah.
But if we can make it work out, iron out all the wrinkles, we might be going to Austin.
That would be so much fun.
So.
Yeah, I've never been to a race. Her and her husband have been to a race, and then his little sister Lexi. We all work together and everything, so she's never been to a race, and that would be so much fun.
Yeah, and if we were going, we'd try to go to COTA, which would just be such a fun race.
It'll be in October, yeah.
I really want to go. And I feel like October it wouldn't be like too hot.
Yeah, it's Texas, but
yeah. We wouldn't be dying.
No. Yeah. I think we'd be good. I think that if we budget the right way, we have hold on. It's 8 months. We have 8 months to do that.
Yeah. And so we were talking about it, and I hate to say it.
Oh.
But going on Friday isn't really worth it.
Okay.
I don't feel like. We went to all 3 days when we went to Montreal, and just kind of, there's a lot of waiting around. And maybe it was just because there wasn't much to do when you were waiting.
Okay.
In Canada specifically, it maybe like COTA would have more things to do, but there's not much action. I don't normally watch practice anyway, and so for me it was not worth it.
Okay.
So we might only have to buy 2 days. Yeah. Which would be a little bit cheaper instead of all 3.
Well, also like with COTA, because I almost went last year, and I have friends that live in Texas that went, and I think, like you said, there's not a lot to do on Friday, but there is a lot to do in Austin. Like, because they're like, we're hosting the Formula 1 race. We're going to make it as fun as possible. So then, like, all the, like, restaurants are open. There's, like, experiences to do outside of the track. So we could always just take that Friday and do stuff in Austin.
Yeah. And like, if we're road tripping, we don't have to rush to feel like we have to get our money's worth to make it to the track.
Yeah.
We could be like, okay, we can just take our time. Stop at this little park and check it out. Whatever.
Yeah, that would be so much fun.
But if you guys are going to a race, let us know.
Or if you've been to a race, give us some race like essentials or like tips for the weekend, because it is Austin and like it will be a little bit hot, but I'm interested to see what you guys have up your sleeve.
Everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
Like you know it going into it, but then you see all the prices for everything and you're like,
Well,
I'm gonna be broke.
That's the problem, is that most of the races in Europe are like $98 for the whole weekend. But then the flights are $2,000. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, I can't afford that as a college student. Like,
I'm not made of money.
I'm not made of money. We didn't grow up in racing.
I'm not a Formula 1 driver. I cannot afford this.
Yeah, but it's whatever. We'll try to work it out. And we'll keep you updated if we decide to actually go.
That was just a little tangent.
Yeah. So. Talk about the race.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jeddah is this weekend. Quali's on Friday, which is tomorrow as of this recording. And then the race is on Saturday. Check those times. The F1 app should have your correct time. If you look on Google, it's not going to be correct. So look on your F1 app. It should be there. And have a good race week. And hopefully your teams do not DNF or crash or anything bad. Wish you the best of luck on your F1 fantasy teams.
I hope that all your pre-race predictions come true.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be the one that gets the paddock passes of that fantasy app.
Yes. And then you can send them to us.
Yeah, and then tell us. Give us some, like, tips. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just saying earlier that we always sign up for those, like, giveaways that they do. When it's like, oh, paddock passes and all this cool stuff. And I always sign up and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
I want to know if people actually win.
Well, that's how I felt about, like, the Abercrombie and Fitch did, like, a giveaway with McLaren, and I entered out on 3 different accounts. And I was like, please, there's have to, like, 3 out of, like, a bunch of people has got to get 1, right? No. But they announced the winner, and they put it on their story, and, like, it was an actual person. It wasn't, like, a bot or anything. And I was like, dang, I wonder how that process goes. Like, do they message you and then, like, email you, and then, like, how do you confirm all of that, those details? Because they got, like, $500 worth of Abercrombie stuff, and then a signed helmet from Lando. And I don't think they got any race tickets, but I think it was because it wasn't during the race season. But
yeah,
there's a lot of
just
stuff.
a merch giveaway.
Yeah. She's
awake.
She's awake. She heard Lando and she started screaming.
That's right. I love Lando.
It's because of me. I talk about him all the time, and, like, whenever you were pregnant, I was always around you, so that's because of me.
We've indoctrinated her.
Yeah. So I think that's all for today.
Yeah.
So
that's a checkered flag for today.
All right. See y'all later.